Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to deconstruct a core leadership trait, one that's praised pretty much everywhere, from the boardroom to the battlefield, and that is loyalty. We're always told that loyalty is absolutely essential for a strong team. But for this explainer, I want to start by questioning that whole assumption. Is it really the noble virtue we all think it is, or could it be something, well, a lot more complicated? So, in its best form, loyalty is a huge strategic asset. It really does create this stable foundation. It inspires trust, and it encourages the kind of commitment that helps a team get through tough times and drive towards a common goal. But here's the twist. That exact same glue, the very force that binds a team together, can also become a trap. It can lead leaders and their followers down a really dangerous path.
Okay, so let's dive into this. First things first, we need to establish what we even mean when we talk about loyalty.
At its core, loyalty is this deep, faithful commitment. It's about way more than just showing up for work. It's about being reliable, dependable, especially when things get tough. It's basically a promise of support. And when this kind of commitment is harnessed the right way, it doesn't just create a good feeling. No, it creates a powerful and really productive, virtuous cycle. And you can totally see how these benefits create this awesome feedback loop, right? A leader's loyalty fosters trust, which then drives commitment, and that leads to a team that's cohesive and resilient. It's this amazing cycle where success just builds on more success. But here's the turn. What happens when that powerful glue starts to, well, gum up the works? When loyalty stops serving the mission and starts serving something else entirely? This quote really gets to the heart of the problem. Loyalty just can't exist in a vacuum. Without other guiding principles like honesty and a clear moral compass, it can quickly turn into a pretty significant flaw. And this is where we see the real risks: blind loyalty. That's when your allegiance to a person completely overtakes performance or principles. It's how you end up with things like cronyism, where friends get promoted over people who are way more competent. It's what allows unethical behavior to be covered up because people just aren't willing to speak out against someone they're loyal to. And history gives us some pretty stark warnings here. When a leader demands complete personal loyalty above all else, think of historical figures like Adolf Hitler, it can be used to justify some absolutely horrific acts. Followers can become so committed to the person that they completely lose their ability to question the morality of their actions. So this brings us to a central conflict that pretty much every person in an organization faces: a divided loyalty. Do you pledge your allegiance to your leader or to the organization and its mission? The insight here is absolutely critical. Loyalty to a leader, that's personal, and it can be fleeting. If that leader leaves, guess what? The loyalty probably goes with them. It also risks eroding the organization's integrity if that leader's personal interests start to clash with the company's mission. But loyalty to the organization, now that's rooted in a shared purpose. It's way more stable, and it ensures that the mission, not just one individual, stays the top priority. So, if that's the big conflict, what's the solution? How can leaders cultivate the right kind of loyalty, the kind that actually serves the team and the mission? Healthy loyalty isn't something you can demand. It has to be earned through service. It's about being transparent, even when the news is bad. It's about investing in your people's future, not just what they can do for you right now. And maybe most importantly, it's about protecting your team, standing up for them in public while handling any issues in private. That's how you build loyalty to the mission, not just to the manager. All of this really leads us to one final, essential virtue that has to guide our loyalty. You can think of it as the compass that keeps us from getting lost. Integrity, it's not just about being honest. It's about sticking to your moral code, especially when you're under pressure. It's doing the right thing even when it's hard or unpopular or even seems disloyal. And right here, this is the ultimate tension. Misplaced loyalty can actually ask you to compromise your own principles in service of someone else's. It can ask you to defend the indefensible, to stay silent when you see something wrong. So this is the big takeaway. Healthy loyalty doesn't replace integrity. It is founded on it. True loyalty, then, isn't really to a person. It's to shared principles and the shared mission, all guided by that moral compass. And that leaves us with a final thought to reflect on. In our own careers, in our own lives, when we're faced with one of those ethical dilemmas that pits our loyalty against our integrity, which way are we going to turn? Because that choice, right there, defines the kind of leader and the kind of person we truly are.